The Pacific Ocean is more than water. It is a battlefield of shadows, a silent arena where nations test their resolve, where modern warfare no longer begins with the first missile, but with the first radar wave sweeping across the horizon. And in this rising tension, Japan knew one truth: air superiority is survival. In the 1990s, new fighter jets, long-range missiles, and advanced war weapons began redefining global military power. Japan's aging F-1 could no longer keep up with the battlefield strategy of the future. It needed a new wing, longer reach, deeper strike, sharper sensors, a guardian capable of protecting a nation shaped by war history. This is the story of the Mitsubishi F-2, born from an alliance, refined by technology, and molded by the unforgiving demands of the Pacific theater. A fighter jet built not to invade, but to defend. A defender forged from caution, innovation, and Japan's unbreakable commitment to protect its homeland. Tonight, the Pacific awakens. By the late Cold War, Japan stood at a crossroads. Threats in the region evolved faster than expected. Stealth fighters emerging, drones expanding surveillance reach, and anti-ship missiles gaining deadly precision. For a nation surrounded by vast ocean but limited in landmass, defense systems had to compensate for geography. Japan needed an aircraft with greater range than any it had fielded, a jet capable of detecting enemy fighters before being seen, a platform that could integrate with future war machines of the 21st century. Thus began one of the most controversial and ambitious military technology collaborations in modern history. Japan and the United States joining forces to create a new breed of fighter jet, part F-16, part Japanese engineering genius, part leap into the future. Not a copy, not a clone, but a new guardian for a new era. The Mitsubishi F-2 would become a symbol, not only of military strength, but of trust. Japan partnered with the US to merge the F-16's proven airframe with Japan's vision of a next-generation sea-based fighter. The result was larger wings, more composite materials, and a radar system years ahead of its time. But the world wasn't watching this collaboration with admiration. Some saw it as a threat, others as a shift in global military power. And many questioned, why is Japan building such an advanced aircraft? The answer was simple: because the Pacific was changing. Because deterrence is sometimes the only alternative to destruction. And because a fighter jet is more than a weapon. It is a message. From factory floors to wind tunnels, from design sketches to flight tests, the Mitsubishi F-2 took shape like a Pacific dragon rising from steel. Its distinct blow camouflage wasn't just paint, it was identity, a symbol of its mission to dominate sea and sky. Japan incorporated advanced war weapons, digital flight controls, and one of the world's most capable active electronically scanned array radars, long before many Western jets adopted similar technology. This wasn't a fighter built for yesterday's battles. It was built for tomorrow's unpredictable conflicts, facing drones, stealth jets, and advanced missile systems in contested airspace. The F-2 was Japan's countermeasure to uncertainty. October 7th, 1995. A date written into Japan's war history of innovation.
The Mitsubishi F-2 lifted into the air for the first time, slicing through clouds with the confidence of a machine engineered for dominance. As the jet ascended, so did Japan's position in the world of fighter jets and military technology. Analysts watched, rivals recalculated, allies took note. Because the first flight wasn't just a test, it was an announcement. The Pacific had a new guardian.
Before the world talked about AESA radars, Japan deployed one. The J/APG-1 made the Mitsubishi F-2 a hunter in the sky of predators, capable of tracking multiple targets, resisting jamming, and guiding long-range missiles with a deadly level of accuracy. In modern warfare, information is the sharpest blade. The F-2's radar was that blade, cutting through electronic noise, exposing threats before they were aware of its presence. This wasn't just an upgrade, it was a revolution. The F-2 wasn't designed for land dominance, it was engineered for maritime supremacy. Armed with anti-ship missiles, precision air-to-surface weapons, and advanced air-to-air missiles, it became Japan's airborne spear against naval threats. In a world where warships grow larger and deadlier, air power determines who controls the sea. And Japan's F-2 was built to strike fast, strike hard, and vanish into the horizon before enemies could react. A storm from above.
Japan's defense strategy centers on a chain of islands stretching across thousands of kilometers. Protecting them demands speed, range, and unmatched situational awareness. This is where the F-2 thrives. Patrolling skies, intercepting intrusions, guiding drones, and coordinating with naval destroyers, every mission strengthens Japan's integrated defense systems. In the contested Pacific, island chains are dominoes. If one falls, others follow. The F-2 stands between stability and chaos.
Unlike the grays of NATO or the desert tones of Middle Eastern jets, Japan chose blue, the color of the ocean, the battlefield it must protect. The F-2's camouflage symbolizes its identity as a sea defender, a maritime blade cutting through blue horizons. Fighter jets often reflect the soul of a nation. For Japan, the F-2's colors whisper a message. We are guardians of the Pacific.
A fighter jet is only as powerful as the pilot who commands it. Japan's F-2 squadrons train relentlessly. Simulated dogfights, missile evasion drills, electronic warfare scenarios, and joint exercises with global military power partners. In the unforgiving arena of air combat, milliseconds separate victory from loss. Training molds instincts. Instincts save nations.
While Japan advanced, so did potential adversaries. Nearby nations deployed new stealth fighter jets, upgraded drones, and long-range missile systems, each reshaping the regional balance. The F-2 wasn't built to dominate rivals. It was built to confront them if forced, holding the line long enough for reinforcements to arrive. Its mission? Deter. And if deterrence fails, defend. In modern warfare, threat evolves every year. The F-2 evolved with it.
Japan's constitution limits its military, but not its determination. The F-2 embodies Japan's doctrine of peace through strength, a shield ensuring diplomacy is always the first choice. Its presence in the sky calms allies and makes enemies reconsider every move. Power is not always used. Sometimes it simply exists, and that is enough. Beneath its blue skin lies a beating heart, the powerful General Electric engine modified for Japanese needs. The F-2 accelerates aggressively, climbing with the grace of a bird, yet striking with the precision of a blade. Its enlarged wings allow tight maneuvering at low altitude, perfect for sea-skimming combat operations and missile evasion. This is agility refined into art. Long before modern fighter jets embraced glass cockpits, the F-2 pioneered one. Wide multifunction displays, digital navigation, real-time threat mapping, technology years ahead of its generation. In a battle where drones, missiles, and stealth aircraft overlap, the cockpit becomes the command center of survival, and the F-2's cockpit remains one of the most intuitive designs in military aviation. The F-2's deadliest weapon arrived years later, the ASM-3 Supersonic anti-ship missile, a spear for the age of modern warfare. Flying at high speed with extreme precision, this missile gives Japan the ability to deter warships long before they approach its waters. Advanced war weapons reshape strategy. The ASM-3 reshaped the Pacific. Though rarely spoken publicly, the F-2 has participated in numerous real combat operations, interceptions, air patrols, maritime surveillance, and rapid deployment drills during regional crises. Whenever tensions rise, whenever unidentified aircraft approach, whenever the Pacific trembles, the F-2 is there, silent, ready, watching. As global military power modernized, critics predicted the F-2 would fade. Instead, it adapted. Upgraded radars, modern missiles, new electronic warfare suites, enhanced sensors to counter stealth aircraft. The F-2 proved that innovation is not always about replacing the old. Sometimes it is about giving the old a new spirit. The battlefield of the future will be a storm of drones, hypersonic weapons, stealth jets, cyber warfare, and space-linked sensors. Japan knows this, and the F-2 is evolving again. Integrated with drones, connected to satellites, armed with longer-range missiles, prepared for tomorrow's threats, a future war machine built on decades of experience. Every legend passes its torch. Japan's next-generation stealth fighter, the F-X, will one day replace the F-2. But the F-X inherits more than technology. It inherits a legacy of vigilance, discipline, and defense. The F-2 walked so the F-X could fly, and the Pacific's future defenders will carry the lessons of the Blue Guardian. The epic and emotional Mitsubishi F-2 is more than a fighter jet. It is a message written in steel and wings, a declaration that peace must be defended, that nations must remain vigilant, and that the sky above Japan will never be left unguarded. From storms to sunlight, from tensions to triumphs, the F-2 has watched over the Pacific for decades, quiet, loyal, unbroken. And as the world steps into an uncertain future, it leaves us with one question. When the next storm arrives, who will guard the sky?